everybody, it's Michelle, and I am back with my 1-week follow-up visit. And wow, this past week has been a wild ride. Started off with my surgery last Tuesday, which was February 12th. I was supposed to go in about 8 o'clock, but you know, typical fashion, everybody's running late. I think I get into the operating room, I think about 8:30 or so, maybe 8:40. Remember nothing after that. Absolutely nothing. I vaguely remember being taken up to my room where my dad and my husband were waiting for me. But other than that, I don't really remember a whole lot. I do remember we had some medication mix-up. I cannot take narcotics. I get violently ill when I have narcotics in my system. And what happened? They hooked up an anti-nausea drip attached to my IV, and it was a slow drip, but then they put fast-acting morphine into my IV, and instantly I started dry heaving everywhere. So I ended up dry heaving for 24 hours. That's really awesome after you've had stomach surgery, let me tell you. Loads of fun. It was the most miserable 24 hours of my life. They were actually so concerned that they wouldn't let me have ice chips. They said that normally, you know, within a few hours of surgery, they let people have ice chips, and that's it. And that was really to wet the mouth. I wasn't allowed anything at all. The next morning, I was supposed to have a leak test done. The leak test was supposed to be done about 9 o'clock or so, but the hospital that I'm in, or that I was in, made sure that the emergency room went first. So I didn't get in to have my leak test done until just after 11. Turns out I don't have a leak. It was just a medication issue. Once I griped them out enough, they switched the medication to a non-narcotic, and I was able to get fluids in me. They wouldn't introduce any kind of fluids at all. And so I think it was about 4 or 5 in the afternoon when I started getting water, and then watered down apple juice. I feel that put me a day behind in my recovery, to be honest. I should have been in the hospital a day, maybe 2. I ended up in the hospital 4 days. 3 nights, 4 days. Was released Friday afternoon. Man, was I glad to be home. So glad to be home. My husband has been such a trooper, taking care of both kids and, you know, the household duties and me. Yeah, he should get Husband of the Year award. And it's kind of funny. So Thursday was Valentine's Day. And I come home on Friday, and my kids had Valentine's Day parties at their school, which is, you know, understandable. But the kids had laid out all the candy out on the kitchen table. That is not what I wanted to see. My biggest trigger food is candy, cookies, cakes, any kind of sweet, except for ice cream. I'm not a real big, cold, ice creamy type fan. But everything else I am. And so here are all these candies that I like laid on the table. Now, there would be absolutely no way that I'd be able to eat it. No way. But it's still more the fact that that temptation was there, and I didn't, I guess, really appreciate that. But then I have a 5-and-a-half-year-old and a almost 3-year-old. They're not going to know. Plus, my kids did not know I was in the hospital. Mommy went on a trip. That's all we told them. It was a hospital trip, but Mommy was on a trip. And then Mommy came home with some boo-boos. So they had to be careful with Mommy. But over the weekend, the kids have been great. I've gotten out, did a little bit of walking, not a whole lot, and I was quite surprised with having done 2 half marathons back in January it was Sunday when I took a 1-mile walk. Man, I did not expect that. That's probably the slowest mile I think I have ever done in my entire life. I was so worn out after the 1 mile. You know, considering I was able to do 13 miles last month, but I did just have major surgery, and I keep telling myself that. It's okay. It'll come back with time. I'm not in any hurry to start running again. I've already told myself I was going to take the spring off from running anyways. I'm just going to go back to walking. I like walking. I've got a Wii. I've got a Kinect with the Xbox. And I've got lots of DVDs. So there's lots of stuff I can do. I don't have to do running. So I'm going to keep this relatively short because the reason why I'm in my car is I am sitting in the parking lot of my doctor's office. Today I get my staples out. I have 5 incisions. The largest incision is only about 1 inch in length, but I have staples in all of them, so I get my staples out today. Yay! I'm so glad because they itch. So here are my statistics. I'm sure everybody's wanting to know. So I started this process on January 31st, is when my pre-op diet, or just before my pre-op diet started, at 262 pounds. When I went into surgery last Tuesday, I weighed 255 pounds. So I lost 7 pounds in the 1-week pre-op liquid diet. Now in the week since surgery, I have lost an additional 8.6 pounds. I weighed 246.4 this morning. So I am thrilled. In 2 weeks, I have lost 15.6 pounds, and that is awesome. That's probably the most weight I've lost in that short amount of time ever. So it's just completely awesome. So I can't wait for this following week. This following week, I get full liquids. So this past week, I was on clear liquids. Starting today, I get full liquids. So that includes milk, cream-based soup, that kind of thing. Versus last week, I was only allowed broth and popsicles, which, to be honest, that's all I wanted. I did not want anything else. So I need to wrap this up. And I have a couple of pictures I want to show. I'll show it after the video. I always believe in setting goals. And I've had this one particular dress that I've had for 12 years. And I've never been able to fit in it. The dress is a size 14, but it fits more of like a size 12. And I really want to fit in it. One day. I'm not going to rush it. I'll get there when I get there, but I really want to fit in that dress. So I will show you guys a picture of my goal. Bye, everybody.